a preliminary report on what caused last month's deadly Snowbirds crash in Kamloops, BC. Investigators say it may have been a bird strike that brought down the jet. In the preliminary report, officials say video taken during takeoff showed a bird flying very close to the jet's right engine intake. You can see the bird here, circled in red. Shortly after that, the plane veered off course and plummeted to the ground. The Snowbirds public affairs officer, Captain Jenn Casey, was killed in the crash. The pilot, Captain Richard McDougall, survived. Both ejected from the jet before it hit the ground. The Air Force says it's investigating whether the aircraft's escape system was working properly. A large crowd filled one of Halifax's main streets this evening, calling for an end to racism and justice for George Floyd. Hundreds of people took to their knee to honor Floyd. They stayed there for 8 minutes and 46 seconds. That's the length of time Minneapolis police officer Derek Chauvin had his knee on George Floyd's neck. All of this is taking place in the midst of a pandemic when people are supposed to be avoiding large crowds. Public health experts are worried about a spike in cases of COVID-19 in the 10 days to 2 weeks from now in the U.S. Here in Canada, there's some optimism about where the numbers are right now as much of the country continues to reopen. Abigail Bimman walks us through what's changing and where.
It may be a familiar sound at daycare drop-off, but not much here is the same.
How many distance do you have to keep between your friends?
In Montreal, the country's COVID-19 epicenter, daycares are open with reduced capacity and new rules.
We are very ready. I told the staff it's a chess game. It may be 1 step forward, 2 steps back. We're going to readjust.
We're very confident that our school is clean, organized, prepared, and safe.
Confidence in BC, too, where case numbers are much lower. Elementary schools are open. Attendance is voluntary. Not all parents or students are ready.
He really wanted to.
Was it a tough decision?
Yeah, very.
Across the country, dozens of national parks are opening gradually, including Banff, Alberta, hurting for tourist dollars. But for now, openings are targeted at locals. It's day use only. Big steps in Manitoba, which starts phase 2 of reopening with no new cases Monday and no one in hospital. Now pools are open, recreational sports back on, and restaurants already allowed to operate patios can seat people inside at half capacity.
So it does definitely feel like we're coming out the other side, but I am skeptical and nervous as well.
A different picture province to province, but everyone needs the same things to move forward.
To give businesses the confidence to reopen their doors and people the confidence to walk through those doors, we need to cooperate on countrywide testing and contact tracing. And on this front, we're making good progress.
Right across the country, municipalities dealing with reopenings are also strapped for cash, forced to consider cuts to services. On Monday, the Prime Minister promised what's essentially a $2.2 billion cash advance, far short of the $10 to $15 billion cities say they need. Dawna?
Abigail Bimman in Ottawa, thanks. Here's a snapshot of the case numbers across Canada tonight. More than 700 new cases have been confirmed today. Most are in Ontario and Quebec. In Ontario, officials say at least 80 of today's 404 new cases are migrant workers who contracted the virus in southwestern Ontario. A number of other provinces, including New Brunswick, recorded no new cases. That's significant for New Brunswick. It's dealing with a new outbreak that involves a doctor who contracted the virus in Quebec and failed to self-isolate when he got home. He kept working. A total of 12 people have now tested positive as a result of that. That includes 5 in a long-term care facility near Campbellton.
The new series that goes inside the COVID-19 pandemic, from the front lines to the everyday heroes helping us cope with the unprecedented change. Coronavirus, the new reality. A Global News special, Sundays at 7 on Global.